Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Hello, hello. Uh-huh. Ah, yes, okay. So, I don't know why. Where's the chat? Okay, why the chat is not working? Hi, Susan. Ah, it's working. I don't know why. It looks strange to me. Hello, Catherine. Hello. Hello, Natalie. So, welcome in Brittany today for this tour about Lamballe, which is a beautiful city in Brittany. Hi, Madeline. So I hope you all fine. Hello to Cumbria. You can see the weather is fabulous here, and we're going to discover that little village, well, a village, city, I should say, which is a wonderful little city located in the Côte d'Armor, which are the north side of Brittany. That's where I've got. Oh, wet, wet, wet. Uh, okay. Had the GPS was making suddenly a noise. Hello, Catherine. So yes, as I was saying, it's a beautiful city in the north of Brittany. Bonsoir. Cloudy in England. Ah, you see the difference between Great Britain and Britain. Here it's sunny. And we are not far away from England, but it's very sunny. So I'm going to show you where we are right now. And I wanted to show you a beautiful building and that we're going to go inside and for you to discover a little bit more about where we are. Aha, Hadren, sunny northeast England. Good for you. So, shall we start? So, if somebody are new, hello, my name is Patrick. I'm a tourist guide located in Paris, but also originally from Brittany, and that's where I am today in Brittany. I'm half an hour driving from my home, and I brought you to that city that I think it's absolutely fabulous. And right now we are in the top, the highest place of the city. So normally, you know, in the highest place of the city, you've got a fortress because that's the best place to defend. But in Brittany, which is also a very Christian country, it was the most Christian country in France. In fact, the fortress are quite often churches too. And that's what I'm going to show you now. But first, bonsoir Laura. First, let's look where we are and let's have view on this beautiful countryside. So you see, we are very high and we're going to go down. Hello, Janice. So you see, look, the city is at our feet, and over there, there's a little river passing by, Claven, which is crossing and splitting the city of Lamballe. Lamballe, it's written Lamballe. And you see, look how it's quiet here with a little bridge over there. And you see the river just passing through the little bridge. And you see the bridge is Lamballe, yes, Natalie. And you see the bridge is like an old Roman bridge, if I can say. And it's not because, but it's also by the just after that, so from the Middle Age. And so here in the Middle Age, Lamballe is part of the Duchy, so the county of Brittany. And Brittany, never forget, my friend, never forget, Brittany was out of France. Brittany has been conquered by the French, and the Queen of Brittany, Anne of Brittany, has to stop um, to ask for a ceasefire, and so due to that, Brittany is going to be part of France. But before that, Brittany was a free country, and so we have got duke, count, and queen and king, and so lots of places have to be fortress. But as I told you, fortress in Brittany also have got the synonym of churches. So look at these huge churches that I'm in front of, that we're going to go inside in a couple of seconds, if they don't close it. And if you look carefully at the church, you will see that on the side of the church, you've got rampart. You see here. So the church is in fact acting as a place of faith, as a place where the people go to pray, but also as a place to protect the city, and as a place where you can go inside in case you are attacked. And that place has been used as a fortress, has been used to protect the city when we had different conflicts. So let's have a look inside this called Notre-Dame de la Grande Puissance, Our Lady of the Important Powerful. That's how it's called. We also call it Notre-Dame de Lamballe. And I have a beautiful stained glasses. So we are in in a part of France which is of Brittany, which is named Penthièvre. So let me give you some datation. So in fact, that cathedral is from the 1200s. So it means at the same time that Notre Dame of Paris is going to be start building. And this church was before an abbey, and it's going to stay during the whole Middle Age, a fortress. It is vino o'clock. What do you mean? Sorry, maybe I missed something. So you see, you've got here this stained glasses, which is a part of the stained glasses which were formerly in 2014, and in fact we only could kept one panel of this. And you've got the Annunciation here. So here you see the Virgin Mary, and you see the Archangel Michael, which is arriving, which is telling to the Virgin Mary, you are going, you are carrying the child of God. You've got in you the new prophecy, meaning Jesus. And then you see, you go to the second part, and here you see the nativity. When the Christ born. After that, you know the story. The Roman later on heard that the baby born, and that baby may be a prophecy. They didn't want that. So Mary and the baby had to flee to Egypt. And that's what you're going to see here. This is the flee of Egypt. You see, they are going to hide themselves. And you see here, you've got a papyrus. And so you arrive here in Egypt with Mary, Joseph, and the baby on a little donkey. And uh, the last one, you've got the lady, the Virgin Mary, who knows that the Christ has been crucified. So you see, she's crying because now her son is dead. And here it's the place where the Christ is was there, and this is when the Virgin Mary is going to die. But you see, the Virgin Mary died, but in fact, she goes to the heaven. This is the Assumption, the 15th of August. Okay, so I resume again in case you just arrived. The visitation, she knows she's going to be pregnant. the nativity, they flee to Egypt, the Christ died, Mary died, and she goes to the heaven. And here you've got some of the apostles, and you've got Saint Peter, who is keeping the keys of the paradise. So this church, look at it, it's huge and absolutely beautiful. What was that tour? No, it was the central. It was a central panel which was over there. You see, that one has been dismantled, and the one you've just seen was before standing over there, and it has been renovated, and so far it's light up and put on the side of it. And of course, in this church, you always have got dead bodies. And all what you see here, this crypt, a place where some saints are going to be saint. I mean, some bishop or people like that, which are going to be sometimes sanctified, are going to be put in the church. Here we've got the Virgin Mary. And you see, we have got all these panels which have been dismantled. Unfortunately, 3 of them have been destroyed. And the last one that we have is the one you've just seen. A pizza. And a pizza. No, look, you see, you've got, you've got a grave inside. I mean, you may cook pizza, but that will be a little bit heretic. And what I wanted to show you here in the church, which is amazing, is the fact that you mustn't forget that before the church, the place of the altar was splitted from the place of the parish. So you've got the nave, but you have at the end of the nave, after the nave, the transept. That's where we are now. You see, here is the transept. The altar nowadays is located here, in the middle of the transept, at the cross of the nave on the transept. But before, in the past time, the priest, the place where we have got the holy part of the church, was splitted from the rest of the church, as you can see here, by a panel. And so it's mean if you wanted to go to the inside, you are going to enter the holy part. Only a priest or monk could do that, or of course the duke and the king if the king was coming by here. But you see, it was closed like a door, so you couldn't pass from the holy part to the other part. And look at that one, it's absolutely beautiful. It's all Brit work, which is typical from the Brit wood sculpting. And you saw it's absolutely beautiful how it's done. And now we can pass. So you see, now we enter the place which was the place where we have got the holy place of it. So the place where the monk were sitting, and the place where the priest was giving the service. Here you see the priest could go by that little door on this helicoidal staircase, could go to the top over there, and from here he was going to be able to give and speak to the people which were in the church. And you have to imagine that you have got that panel in the center and in the other side also. And you see the monks were sitting all over there. Here you see there is a little passage. So you can, in fact, you can walk, because don't forget it was also a defensive place. So in fact, you've got strong towers that you don't see, but which are outside to protect the church. And you could see, you could walk from the top of the church, and you could go through the church and to go to the tower outside on 2 levels. So like that, the person inside could move from the inside to the inside to defend the church. And that's an old altar. on the here is Notre-Dame de la Puissance. She's Our Lady, but showing the power of the church, having the cross in her hand, and showing the way to go to the Christ. So all these wooden work that you see here are typical from Brittany. In Brittany, we do have lots of wooden work. Here you've got the Last Supper, the scene. So we're going to go out of the church. I need to do something on my So now we walk by the central nave, and we're going to leave the strong place of the church. I'm going to show you the church from the outside, and then we are going to go down to the village to see the beautiful house with the wood beams, which is something very typical from that place. From Lamballe, and quite often in Brittany too. So now we are outside, and I'm going to show you the cathedral. Oh, it's not a cathedral, but it's a Notre Dame, so it's an Our Lady Church, which is an important one. And you see, it's really it's the early part of the Gothic, so it's not as elegant, and it doesn't have flying buttresses. You can see the columns on the sides are pillars, so not flying buttresses. That's why the church is not that high. But you see in the middle, in the center of the church, let me zoom out. You see you've got the big strong tower, which is exactly like a dungeon. So you can understand that is a church, but it was also a castle. And if you go on the side here, you see here the walls to protect, and you can put some soldiers on the side of the walls to be able to shoot on the opponent, which were going to try to take the church. I don't know if I can have a large view like that. Catherine could do a nice sketch. So Catherine, you have to, in fact, you have to take some pictures and then you have to join the pictures because the cathedral is so big that in fact I can't have it in my complete view. I would have to get a wide angle, and I can't have that. Maybe I try to go there, maybe to show you another view from the side. Let me maybe if I go here now. Well, you've got the trees now. So it's difficult to get a complete view on the church because it's at the top of a mountain. So see, everywhere it's see here. I'm just at the. I mustn't make another step because the part of that I'm going to fall down. And also you see the stone. This is a typical uh, grey granite from Brittany. The roof is made by slate because in Brittany we do have the grey slate for the roof, and then we have got the grey stone for the house. And you see here in front of it, you can see on this house, for instance, what I mean by the grey stone that we've got in Brittany, and then above the slate. So this is very typical also from the architecture in Brittany. You see the grey slate, the grey stone, and the grey slate. So what I propose now is we go down. So we go the opposite side that I show you from the cathedral, and we go to the center of the city. We are really on a mount. It's like a bit like Montmartre in Paris. Okay, it's really located at a very high position. in above the city. So if you wanted to try to take this place, well, it was a huge battle you have to do because you have to climb, and when you were arriving at the top, of course, you were uh, shot by the people which were in the church. So we're going to go down. It's going to take us 5 minutes, more or less, to go down to the city. But we're going to pass by very beautiful uh, streets, and we're going to pass by very beautiful houses. Okay. So in the meanwhile, if you've got questions, don't forget to ask me. I can just give you a global overview about Brittany by the time I go down. So don't forget, Brittany is is a county. It's a country by itself. This country, this in fact, we could say this state, okay, before, now is made of four different county, which is one Côte d'Armor, that's where we are, the north, one which is at the complete west called the Finistère. Finistère means fin, it means fine, means end, terre, the earth, the end of the earth, because this is the western part of France. So after that, you go to America. The one underneath, it's called the Morbihan. Mor in Brittany means mer, sea. Okay, so mor equals sea. Bihan in Brit language means small. So the small sea, because there is in Morbihan an inside sea, it's like a gulf, and which is very calm. And the climate in Morbihan is even nicer than the climate in the rest of Brittany. And then you've got the last county, which is Île-et-Vilaine, which is in fact a county who has got two rivers, Lille and La Vilaine. That's why it's called L'Île-et-Vilaine. As simple as that. Very simple sometimes, not to understand how the country is made. So you see that where we're going to go down. So we're going to take very small little street, and you're going to have a very nice journey, I hope, with me to the down. Okay, the holy pizza. So you're still pulling my leg with thinking you've just seen a fireplace for pizza. Ah, come on. You know, if you said that to the priest in the church, I think he would have told me to stop, to stop showing the video. So you see, it's a very, very nice little passage. But where we go, I just take my time because you see the stone, the step are not very, how can I say, they are not very symmetric. So I have to be careful not to fall down. So I go slowly by the passage to go down to the city. But these little alcove that you've seen in the church, that you were thinking surely that was a pizza oven. We have that in most of the church, on the side of the church, on the side there, and you've got a lying statue, which is in fact a representation of the person who has been buried at that location. So you find that in many churches in France, and I assume also in other countries. So you see, we start seeing from here, and we can see more and more this house with the wood beams, which are very typical from that city. These little house like that, which are very charming. You see, they are all dating from the Middle Age. So you've got at the Middle Age it was dried earth on wood beams. The dried earth has been replaced by the time by concrete or clay, but the wood beams are still there. And you see, so it was a little extension of the house. Yeah. In that city too, you've got another place which is very famous that we don't go to see because it's not on our way, if I can say. But it's called Le Hara. Hara, I show you the name here because I don't know how to translate in English. Ara, Charas. Uh, it's a place where you have the horse. That's where you keep the horse, you preserve the horse, and also where you are going to have competition for horse, but not running, but more like dancing. So the very famous haras in France, for instance, are in Chantilly. I already brought you here, but the national hara in France is here in Lamballe. Stud. Thank you. So now we start walking by the. We went down. So you see here, we don't have sidewalk because the street is exactly like it was in the Middle Age. Of course, the house have been changing, but you see there is no sidewalk. Um, in Paris, when I do a tour in Paris, I always speak about the sidewalk, saying, "Oh, there is no." The first sidewalk has been built in 1850. But when you go to the French countryside and the little city in the countryside, like here, most of the time you don't find sidewalks. So in fact, they created a kind of sidewalk by putting this piece of wood to avoid the car to park and to preserve the pedestrian. But apart of that, there is no, technically speaking, a sidewalk. It's absolutely lovely. So you see all the stone here. It's not at all like what you see in Paris when I stream in Paris and when I do a live tour in Paris, which is always with cut stone, rectangle cut stone, which are limestone. Here, it's from the granite and the grey granite from Brittany. And the stones you see are quite big and they are not at all mm, uh, cut. They are just kept like they were. And you're going to find, when we start walking, you're going to find some very old house. You see, like this one right here, which is a house which is completely kept as it was in the Middle Age. So you see, you've got the wood beams here, and then, like if there was a step to enlarge the side, the inside of the house, you have got, yes, absolutely, Suzanne, and that's where you see you've got this part of the building which is advancing, and then you have got the wood beams, and you see this very small windows that we had in the Middle Age with lot of little piece of glass, and the top was always a triangle roof. Okay, when after that we did some roof like that that we call mansard. So you see, in that street, you have houses which are from the Middle Age. Then you have got a house which has been built later on. Here you see the cut stone, and here you see just in between. And then when you walk a little bit more, poof, you find another house from the Middle Age. So, and but all the street is like that, mixed between Middle Age and more modern house. I see here you arrive to another one. So you can easily see by the shape of the roof, you see, the triangle roof, you are in front of a middle-aged house. And then you see the house have got the wood beams. Some of them didn't have the wood beam in triangle like the one before, but they were having wood beams like a columns which is holding a ceiling into the church, for instance. And you see they were putting some decoration at the top of these columns to make it, of course, a little bit nicer and to show that I'm a little bit more powerful. And you see here again, you've got the first floor, which is a little bit advancing in the street, and then above, you've got another place which is even a little bit advancing more. So like that, we're building the house like staircase, but opposite side. And we're going to have in one of the most beautiful of the house, not the most beautiful one. The most beautiful one is going to come in a couple of minutes, but we're going to find another one which is absolutely gorgeous, completely from the Middle Age, and which was painting in the Middle Age in green. And you are going to see, so it has got the double effect, if I can say. It has got the columns like the one we've seen before, but also the wood beams, inside. So look at that house. So you see you've got the columns here. See the columns going down. At the top of the columns, you've got a little, what we call the hat or chapiteau in French, which is decorated. Can be a flowers, can be an animal. It depends of the how the person wants. Then we go to another level, and then from here you see we start having the wood beams, which are like diagonal. But in that case, not only wood beams, you see, you still find again the column. So you see, and that house, you see, was very high, and because you've got the small windows here, and other windows, and then you've got another floor. So you see that one has got a floor more than the one before. And then it has been adding, but later, not in the Middle Age, they have been adding this little window completely at the top uh, to bring some light into the attics. It's gorgeous, yes. On the side of it, you see, on the side of it, you've got a little part of the house, which is a door to enter on the side, and you've got a little extension of the house, you see, which has been done exactly like the rest of it, which is on the side. Beautiful, no? And now we are really in the heart of the city, and on my in my back, that way, but I keep for the end of the tour because I want to preserve the surprise. You will see the most beautiful of all these houses. But let's have a look of some more houses before. Again, you see here, it's a place where to sleep. So you've got one here called La Tête Noire, which is a cafe restaurant, and next to you've got a place where you can sleep. It's a gîte, so it's like a bed and breakfast. And you see, look, the house is completely like if it was collapsing on the side. You see, it's not straight anymore. It has been moved a little bit because don't forget the street is not straight. And you see here what I was explaining about the house, which is like steps. Now I will go the other side. You will understand better because here I'm against the sun, so it's not going to be good quality. But if I'm here, you will see better. Okay. So you can see from here. So the restaurant is named the Blackhead, and you see one step, you go up, another step. So you see the second floor is wider than the first floor, which is itself wider than the ground floor, because as there was no sidewalk, like that we can keep the street light wide, I mean, and you see a car is passing inside the street without and trying to having a little bit more wide house. In Paris, it's the opposite. In Paris, we build the house, you see, I told you already, like that. In Paris, we build the house like that, like a belly house. Here, we don't build it like that. We built it step by steps, okay, like a staircase house. It's beautiful, no? So Lamballe is not really big city, but I told you there is the Ara, so the stud, as you told me. Thank you for the word. And there is here we are in the right in the center, so there is lots of little shop and some cafe, of course, because you're in front, and another church because you are in front. So always lots of church and cafe. And you see here the house are not from the Middle Age because this place has been created and enlarged later on. So here we are from the 19th centuries, so it's not very new either, but it's a little bit newer than the house I've just shown you before, and which is the central square of the city. But it's very nice, Lamballe, because so you are not at the seaside. You are half an hour driving from the sea, but it's very calm. And also there is a train station which goes directly from Paris. So you can come here in 2 hours and a half. You will arrive in Lamballe. On the Arras, the things for the maybe I have got short time. If I go quickly, maybe I can show you. Let me see. I think I'm not too far away. So let me see if I can show you the Arras. The Arras on the next street on the right and then on the left. So let me see if I can quickly go to the Arras. If it's not too long like that, I will show you the National Arras. Well, show you from the outside because we can't go inside. But if you come here, you can make visit of the Arras. It's a public space like a museum. So you can go. If I can turn at the corner here, I will show you the Arras, National Arras, National Stud. And also in Namba, they have got this decoration. I don't know if you like it or not, but which is also something they did in the city. You see these flowers, glass flowers, which are all over the cities. Well, just to be nice. It doesn't protect anything, but just to be nice. Okay, yes, the Ara on the left over there. So I just go quickly because I want absolutely to show you the most beautiful house from Lamballe, which is a very, very famous house. I just pass on that big square, and the Ara are just on the left here. So I just hurry up, not to make you lose your time, but at least like that you have got a complete view on on Lamballe. Maybe once we could do the visit of the Ara, because it's a place that you can visit. As I said, you see it here, right here. So right now it's closed, so I can't show you the. I just can show you the things from the outside. But there is a lot of stud for the horses, for the horse, and they also do have got a baby horse here because they do. They make the lady horse to get pregnant and to be able to have a baby. You see, there is a coach from Belgium. So you see, there is tourism here in Lamballe, and mainly the people go for the national hara. So you see, it's here. It's really Haras Nationaux, and they do have here also a competition of carriage. It's They are famous for that also here. You see, you've got two horses which are pulling a little carriage. So that's the Hara. So I'm going to show you the Hara from the outside. Here they are. So all what you see here are the stud for the horses. It looks like house, but it's not house. I mean, it's house, but house for horse. And it's quite big. I try to go in front in the main door. You see, they also have got a school for young people who wants to learn how to treat the horse and to be. You see here they say filia epic, so it means if you want to become a nurse for horses, you see, and they say it's 1 year of training, and so you can become that. You see that. Try to show you from here, so like that you've got a complete view on it. Let me pass my gimbal up. Here it is. So it's really, really big, okay, because it's not only one alley like that, it's plenty of alley. On the right side here, the one, this building on the right side is the place where you come to get your ticket and the information and things like that. And after that, you go to make the visit. So part of the stud are open, part of the stud are closed for the public, and there is also what we call a carousel. The carousel is the place that you have at the end of the alley over there, where it's covered, like a covered stadium, where they make dance the horse. Okay, my friends, so just wanted to show you that. I take out my gimbal from that, and then I'm going to finish the tour to show you the most beautiful house. So here we are in something which is modern. We are in a house from the 20th centuries, from the 1950s. So it's not the nicest part, if I can say, of the city. But you don't see, but there is over there, there is a seagulls. So you see, we are not far away from the sea because we are, I say, driving half an hour. But the seagulls can fly to here. So you have to be careful because the seagulls are very, very, very good thieves. They be next to you and they try to steal what you've got. So I walk back to bring you to for the end of the tour to the most beautiful. Of course, we're in Brittany. Please, Patrick, send that weather. Yes, look at the sky. You see, that's what I always say. People said, French people say, oh, in Brittany, it's always raining. Oh, in Brittany, it's terrible weather. You mustn't go to Brittany. You must go to the south of France. But look, you see, I'm short sleeve. It's a blue sky and it's hot. Okay, so come on. Brittany is not a place where it is always raining, as the rumor try to convince the people. But that's just because some people are haters and they don't like our beautiful, beautiful state. And you know, in Brittany we have something because when people said, "Oh, in Brittany it's always raining," so we told them gently, "No, no, just it's a rumor, you know." Uh, It's not like that. You have got nice weather. Of course, it's raining, but we do have nice weather. And when the people insist, you know, saying, yes, you said that, it's to attract people, but I know that in Brittany it's raining. So we just said to these people gently, with a smile, you know, in Brittany, we've got a sentence to say that. Ah, we turn back to see the most beautiful oldie house. It's raining instead. Look at that one. So this house has been for, and still part of the house is a museum of the history of the city of Lamballe. So that house is a perfection, is a superb house to explain you how is the architecture here in Brittany. So you see, you have got that all everywhere. So that one, but look, if I turn my gimbal on the right here, you see, you've got another house, yellow and green, absolutely gorgeous. But this one is the top one, the iconic house, which is also, as I said, the museum of Lamballe. And so that house, they call it the House of the Red Bourreaus. But in fact, it's just a fake news. No boroughs live here. 18 degree, yes, but 18 degree with the sun, it looks like 24 degree in Paris. So have a see how beautiful it is. It's like the house we've seen before. So it's a house which is by steps. You've got here also the columns, which are going to support the the top balcony or the top, which are going to be to support the extension, outside extension. That's why we've got the columns outside, and then we've got the wood beams to solidify the walls. And you see here, you've got the typical windows that we had at that time, which is nearly like stained glasses. okay, which are not stained glasses, but looks like stained glasses. I mean, it's like a stained glasses in the sense it's made of glass and lead. So exactly the same technique as the stained glasses, but of course, it's not decorated. It's purely colored, but not decorated. But you see, this is exactly the technique of the stained glasses. Glass hold together like with lead. And you see now I'm just at the underneath, and you can see from here what I mean by the different level. You see if I zoom a little bit out, hop là. See, you've got one level, another level, and the third level. You see, so it's like if you had 3 steps. So like that, each level, it's a little bit higher, it's a little bit wider inside than the other one. And the things here are holding, in fact, the upper level. And on the side, you've got the Museum of Lamballe, you see, called Museum of Popular Art. So it's because it's a local art. And you see inside, so you see here, you've got a map of Brittany. You see, so Lamballe is here. Saint-Malo, we've been very often, is here. Dinan, it's here. And my place, Sanka, it's here. Um, my house is right here. So you see, I'm in between Saint-Brieuc, Lamballe, Dinan, Saint-Malo, at the seaside. And you see, the blue things here, it's not the sky, it's the sea. And you've got some, you see that the kind of the artifact, which is from the city in Lamballe, like the kind of hat that the ladies were wearing. And you see here, you've got a vision of how was Lamballe in the Middle Age. So you see, it's a very, very important city of Brittany here in the Middle Age. So my friends, I hope you enjoyed this tour in Lamballe, that you discovered that church pizza has done me. So I hope you enjoyed this, this little discovery of the village of Lamballe, and to show you a little bit how it's Brittany, not from the seaside, but from the inland, where you had also fortress, churches, beautiful houses, and beautiful landscape. So thank you so much to having with me this afternoon. I wish you a very good end of day. And of course, if you enjoyed, as usual, do not hesitate. A little donation buy me a coffee or by PayPal is always welcome. Next week, it will be my birthday. So it's on the 13th of June, my birthday, and I will have a tour with you for my birthday. I mean, I don't do the tour for my birthday, but the day of my birthday, I will have a tour with you, okay? So join me, and it will be also a lovely tour because we're going to speak about artists, and we're going to speak about Montmartre, and we are going to speak about Picasso and Braque and all the other artists from that period in Montmartre. So I welcome you in advance to my next uh, 13th of June tour, which will also a time to say I'm 1 year more. But I know I don't look at it like that. Anyway, my dear friends, we bake a cake. That's great, and I want to see the pictures of the cake you baked for me. Anyway, my friends, take a great care of yourself. Thank you so much to have been with me this afternoon, or this morning, or this evening, according to where you are in the world. And I hope you can have a bit of the sun of Brittany with you, and the blue sky from Brittany. Thank you so much. Take a great care of yourself, and see you soon.